And we're live. Let me turn my camera on. Wait. Oh, here we go. Start cam. Hello.
Oh, you do have braids.
I don't really like them. See my gray?
I know. I was about to say, damn, is that gray or some hair coloring? What the
No,
fuck?
it's great.
Oh,
My
no,
mom
you
had
a
the
good
same.
one.
She had the same gray streak, like till she was about 50. So I
You
guess I might
know,
have it too.
I got some gray coloring that's going down this weekend. But
Well, I
thank
can't
you.
cut my hair no more
Oh, why?
because I'm trying to get my lymph back. So I got to not color it for like a year, and then
Oh,
I'll get my hang time back.
okay.
Then I'm
Okay.
Maybe
going
that's
back.
what I should do to get my hang time back.
You trying to get your hang time back? Well, what's been up? I ain't seen y'all in like a whole month.
I ain't seen Marcus since we came back from Cabo.
You right. You haven't seen me since we came back.
Damn, do he look the same?
Nope,
I mean,
I'm fatter.
I saw him on the pictures and shit. I was like, is that Marcus? Okay.
Right.
So,
Who is that?
anyways, we live. What up, though?
Right, what up,
What's
dude?
going on in the D?
Comment. Sorry, y'all, we had technical difficulties for being late. It's all good. So what's it? Oh, today's topic is the importance of title. So that's all you, Miss Emma.
I know, but don't we got to do the church announcements and all that?
Oh, for sure, for sure. I was about to go live on the gram because they finally gave me my status back.
What happened?
I guess they trying to take my page.
You cut somebody out or something?
I don't know what the people have been reporting some of my posts. I'm like, I ain't even been going off on y'all like that.
Right? You've been nice.
Exactly. I'm like, y'all tripping. Therapy's been helping. I'm like, oh, y'all tripping.
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of going off in public. If you know me, you know me. Say less.
I have been. Told you.
Yeah, you have been. Shit.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, Mark. It's about time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna turn my camera around. And we go live on the gram. Though I ate some hot chips, and I haven't had no hot chips in a minute, and so my whole lip. I'm like, dog, why am I so thirsty? I'm like, what is going on? I was like, no more hot chips for me.
Man, I was trying to get this hot pair of frames from Frank before I left, but I'm like, fuck, I ain't gonna even have them. So I'm gonna have to rock the 9 pair that I do have.
Okay, 9 pair.
I wanted this one last one, but yeah, shout out to Frank Curry. Can you get my frames ready for me? I leave Tuesday. Mr. Eyeglass Man.
Yeah, I follow him. He got some dope frames.
Oh yeah, he's hot. He's hot.
I'm gonna have to follow him. I need some.
His customer service is what I like, though. You know, his energy, his follow through. He's all right with me. He be having me looking hot.
I'm doing the live. I need to go get the other phone so I can be live on both pages. Importance of title. They finally did it to where people can buy. I can people what is it? Buy badges or whatever on Instagram now.
Okay.
What are you? I don't get it. You know, I'm slow.
Yeah, I don't need. I just said okay.
Right. Just let me sound slow first.
You know, like how on YouTube you can do a super chat, like people can pay you live on the air and stuff like that. So you can do that with Instagram now too.
Oh, you be up on that bread. I ain't playing.
Always.
The facts.
Always. All right, so now I'll do the church announcement. So, church announcements. We do, although we canceled the Orlando event, we will probably, I still got the one from last year, so I guess we can upload it and start selling it.
Okay.
Right. Yep. Okay. We will be doing the tour still. That's August 12th through the 15th. Tickets are available for that. That will not be canceled.
Absolutely not. That is going down.
Is that right? The boat? Is that the boat?
Yes. Hope we get to see your amazing face this year, Emma.
You will. You get our shirts too. You got to order your shirts. Girls got new shirts. Hello.
Oh, fancy.
Oh, yeah. I never got my hoodie.
Yeah, I got a pay for it too.
It's sitting here waiting for you.
They probably done resold my shit.
Right.
It's sitting over here waiting for you, all packaged up.
It's okay though. I support Black business.
All packaged up. Yeah, looking hot. We still should do a live while we're in Florida, though.
Well, we still gonna do it. You know, we all still gonna be working. Like that's not gonna stop.
Yeah,
We
this is
should put
too hot.
something together, even if it's at the last minute. Our audience needs that.
As long as they giving donations, we just like the church. Building fund, tithe and offering. What else? You got the kids scholarship.
Oh yeah, the
You got the
kids
senior.
investment.
The senior usher board.
The donut fund.
We got the brownie troop number 623, or insert whatever troop number.
Yeah, so
But
what's
I
been
think
going
that's
on with y'all before we get started on this title stuff? Because we can talk about that all day. Tell us some real estate stuff. What's been happening, Mark? And what's the market like?
that
The
mother
market
hot.
is hot.
That mother hot like my lip from them Cheetos.
Yeah, hotter than that. Hot like this top food I'm eating. That's why I got y'all.
It's realistic though, really. Are the sales prices realistic?
No, like people are overbidding, but it's helping with our commissions because we definitely getting paid out here. But what I am afraid of is another repeat of a bubble where stuff start to come down. But you know what? I'm gonna enjoy it. Just like I did in 2008 when I was writing the mortgages with them 580 credit scores.
Enjoy the wave while you can.
All right.
I saw they changing the thing for the student loans now, so people can be get approved.
Yeah, I heard that too. I read that someone posted it. I heard they're doing a lot of buying sight unseen.
Absolutely. It's a lot of sight unseen, everything. Appraisal guarantees are really big now with buyers.
Yeah. Waiving inspections.
What's up
with that?
People are doing anything that they need to in order to get the home that they feel like they want.
At that ridiculous price.
At whatever price it takes, whatever it takes. They selling children. Let me stop.
Well, I hope they hold on to about Labor Day so I can sell Big Orange.
Big Orange almost there?
Hell no, I'm so poor. God, I'm so poor into this house sale. Man, I'm poor. All my money going there. Everything I do, and what happened is what I didn't want to happen. I started getting busy doing other people's work, so I'm about to close my books again so I can be done. But I got 2 more rough inspections. Then once I had that, I can finally close my walls. It's like once you get to that phase, it started moving a lot faster because it just people don't really understand how many moving parts go behind that beautiful tile that you see in them cabinets.
That's true because I'm one of them.
Yeah, you got to take us through the process on one.
Yeah, y'all just want to move in and hang y'all clothes up. Y'all don't give a damn about no wiring.
No, we don't. That's what
we
got you for.
That's what I'm saying.
I just want my stuff to look good so I can brag to my friends.
I mean, it's the same way with us. Y'all don't give a damn about all this exam work we got to do. When can I close? When can I close? Do you realize what we had to go through to get there?
Nope, sure don't.
Don't care.
I'm not that bad. I only care about is the title clean. That's all I be caring about is clean, cool. I didn't know you can get on the payment plan with the water department because Balfour had a $3,000 water bill. So they was
know that
exactly.
Well, I knew you could do a payment plan, but I didn't know the amount could be that low because the balance is almost $3,000. They was like, you just need $402. I'm like, I got that.
It's called the 10-20-30 plan.
Well, I didn't know you could do it for businesses.
Yeah.
I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you just need to go online, fill this form out, submit your docs, and pay $402.70. I'm like, boo, you had that too? Well,
was that a 10% balance or something? Where did that $400 come from?
Well, $150 is the deposit that you got to get. So I didn't ask no question. She said $400, so I was sold.
No, I was just asking for the audience. So for those that did not know, if you are a business or LLC, it sounds like you can get on a payment plan for your water. So I was just wondering, what that percentage was.
No, I don't know.
No,
That's all I'm gonna pay to get to close, and then you can go and take that
apparently,
out.
if she only had to do $400 and something, $150 of that was the deposit. So she had to pretty much put 10% down if it was a 3,000 plus.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's how it goes. It's called the 10-20-30 plan. If it's your first time getting into a payment plan, they'll do 10% down. If you default and you come back for a second payment plan, it'll be 20% down of whatever the balance is. If you default after that, they go up to 30%. And if you default after that, it'll be either 50% or the entire balance in order to get the water turned on.
Okay, display default. Like I gotta make the deposit and continue to make payments because you know me, I just need the water on so I can test.
Default is yes. If once they send your first
You're in
bill
default.
and you don't pay it on time, on time means the day before pretty much, so they can post it by the due date. Then yes,
Okay.
it'll be default, and then you'll go and the entire balance will become due. So you'll be in shut off status, and then they'll either give you some notices until you actually get it until it actually gets shut off.
Okay, so I'll pay them every month, but them taxes, I paid the my first payment or whatever, like $900. They definitely getting paid at closing, especially since they prolonged the thing again to next year.
Okay, so you didn't owe 2018's taxes, right?
Right. Did you owe 2018's?
No, they owe 1920 for sure.
Okay.
But I gotta look. I'll make sure I double check though, because I don't want no problems.
Text me the address now. I can't remember what it is at the moment.
Because if you do, you
All
need
right.
to stick to your payment plan.
Yeah,
Because I think today was the day that they were on.
Monday.
Oh, is it Monday?
Yeah, because they were closed today in observance of Juneteenth.
Okay, you're right.
Okay.
They are gonna close the books for vacant properties and vacant land as far as being able to pay, basically foreclosure for.
Yep.
So if it's vacant properties or vacant land, then supposedly the books will be closed and they're foreclosed upon. So you need to make sure that you are not, that payment plan doesn't include your 18s and you haven't been making your payment arrangements because you're in default.
Yeah, so 18s is owed. I'm not gonna say how much, but we'll talk about it afterwards.
I'm about to log on and pay right now.
Look at her face. Look at her face. Hot lip, chips, and all. See?
And then also they put out just for our viewers and everybody else, there is a list that they have currently generated with properties that are possibly this, as they put on here, likely foreclosed, unoccupied structures.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to look.
Okay, so you want my upload too.
Yeah, I'm gonna look and see if it's not on here, because if it is, you need to more than likely go down.
She may be able to still make a payment though.
No,
I'm about to log on and pay now.
Yeah, she can still make a payment. I'm just trying to make sure that if it's on the list that it can get cut off. I mean, it can get taken off, because actually I have to go down there on Monday. So
can you put that list and type that link to the list in the group somehow, or to the viewers?
I will send it to Asia and she can more likely do it.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, it says if your property is on the list will be foreclosed without further right of redemption unless you pay the entire balance of 18 before. So I got to pay on my 3 houses.
So why have you been being rebellious? We'll talk offline.
I tell the people the truth. All my money been going on Balfour. That's why.
I'm broke.
Baby. I told everybody for nothing until this house sale. Not
check the list. Go on the Wayne County Treasurer's site. Find this list. Asia, upload the link. If you are in payment arrangements, stick to your payment arrangements, especially if they include the year 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Make your payments.
I'm about to though. No, let me pay. I'm gonna pay Parker first because I know I owe him Parker.
What other announcements out there, Marcus, before we get started?
I think that's pretty much it. Was the Wayne County for the taxes.
What's going on with tenants? I know they lifted the
tenants are scared right now.
They should be. They should be, because you out of here.
Yeah, because it's being lifted. Second thing is a lot of them have now picked up their feet and applied for the SARA program. That's the COVID Emergency Relief Assistance.
That's the program you talked to us about last time, correct?
Yeah, but a lot of people have now taken advantage of it because of this moratorium that's supposed to be ending.
Is there funding still left?
At this moment, they're saying that it is. I have actually gotten several payments, so my shoulders have come out of my ears about 2 inches.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, you still got other files you need to push through.
Right.
So one of the tactics that I currently learned to watch out for is if you don't have a certificate of compliance, for your property, they may use that against you in order to let the tenant stay a little bit longer, because that's kind of a tactic that the courts and some of the defending attorneys are using in order to get uh, the tenant more time.
Okay.
So yeah, you might want to watch out for that. Of course, we know that all properties should have it, but some of them still don't.
Right.
Why
For
did you
those
find it?
for those that have had to move, or for our, I guess, real estate families, have you been hearing any horror stories about
I have not heard any horror stories as of yet. I think most of them probably, unfortunately, will come
after their?
after. I'm gonna say sometime between August and the end of the year.
I mean, from our standpoint, we've seen a few fraudulent deeds surface. The
Okay.
tenants are saying that they were on land contracts, or they were on leases to own, and they got copies of deeds. We got squatters again that's popped up with some deeds, so those have been floating around quite a bit. The only reason we know is because we get folks calling us saying they need a title search because they got a court date. So,
Mm.
so yeah, that's been interesting. Real estate as a whole has been interesting, but this title stuff is crazy right now. Crazy.
Mm. Big Gray said she moving the open day up, I think, to Monday or Tuesday, the 22nd.
The open
But
day for what?
for what?
The
I thought we
the
were
open
open.
estate the open estate back up like 100%.
Oh,
Oh,
you
we
mean
wasn't back
courts
100%.
and you mean
We
courts and all that, or I thought we were back 100%.
well, I
Well,
don't think I think she had said July something at first, but today on Crime and the D they posted it that she said June 22nd we 100% back open. So I don't know. I guess there's no mask or a mask if you vaccinated, but like you gonna go in there and be like, yeah, I'm not vaccinated or something.
yeah. See, we were talking about that here in the office, and on a panel I was on yesterday. Some of us here in the office are vaccinated, some are not. We still have our sign up asking that you wear a mask. Our closers still wear masks in the closings. Our clients are still coming in with masks on.
Yeah, I
Mm.
still wear my mask when I go places and go into stuff. I was one of the people that opposed the mask because I felt like it was an infringement because you were making it mandatory, but now I feel like I can do it now. Yeah, I'm one of those people. Um,
Yeah.
now that I'm free to either have the choice of doing it or not, then I still wear it though. But actually, in this line of business, as far as going in and out of real estate, I should have been wearing it for years anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, shoulda, coulda, woulda. We are where we
Yep.
are now.
But I am now, so pretty like that.
Yeah, we
Sidebar,
really
address ain't showing up. I'm trying to pay the taxes. They keep saying address not found.
books are closed.
No, the books are not closed. I just saw it. Which one are you looking for?
I'm
Hold
on
on.
I'm on Pay Texas online site on the Wayne County page, and I'm putting in. I'm trying to do Parker first because I know Parker 18 is old.
Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds.
Well, anyways, while they're doing that, audience, let's get started. So tonight's topic is let's talk about title insurance, or are we just talking about title in general?
Let's start
Um,
Title.
with title in general.
yeah, I guess we could probably start with what is title insurance. Basically, title insurance is a protection against your real estate investment, if to put it like that. Whether you're buying real estate, and when I say real estate, I mean the land. The only thing that a house does is bring value to the land, or structure, a house, a building, whatnot, bring values to the land that you own. But whether you are buying real estate for $500, 500,000, a million, 50 or whatnot, that's your investment. And what title insurance does is it protects that investment and it makes it marketable. In the sense of, if you decided that you wanted to use that land for collateral to get more money, you wanted to pledge it for a mortgage, or you wanted to perhaps what everyone else does is buy and flip or buy and sell. You want what's called marketable title. You want to guarantee that there's no other parties that may have an interest in your property. Taxes are paid. There's no other liens, such as someone else who had ownership. Their liens or their behind issues are now impeding in your ownership and preventing you from being able to sell your property or pledge your property as collateral for purposes of getting additional income or finances. So title insurance is a protection for your real estate, and also again to make it marketable. How do we get to title insurance? It's not something where you just call up the title company and say, "Hey, Detroit Title, I want title insurance," and we send you over a policy. Title insurance starts with what's known as a title search. Some folks call it a title commitment. It's basically where we, as title folks in our real estate industry, our part of real estate, do a full search of public records. What I mean by public records is documents that have been recorded with whatever register of deeds for whatever county we're searching in, Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, our common counties. We're doing a public search of any documents that have been recorded against that property for the last 40 years. Why do we go back 40 years? That's the title industry standard. Typically, 40 years can set the standards of what has taken place on a property from an A to B, B to C, connect the dots transaction. So it starts with once property is platted or land is platted or subdivided, and we have a house on there, you have an exchange of documents where now we've created a chain. John has deeded to Mary and Mike, and Mary and Mike have gotten a mortgage, and Mary and Mike have paid off their mortgage and or refied and gotten another mortgage. Each time some sort of chain of event happens on this particular land or this real estate, a document gets recorded. And that's how we come about calling what's called a chain of title. And when we're doing a title search or we're pulling these documents to create a report for you guys, we're looking to make sure that each document has a connection to it. They're connecting the dots. So if a mortgage was taken out and Jane says that mortgage was paid off, we're looking for a release to be filed, removing that mortgage. Perhaps Jane took out another mortgage. Now we're looking for a new mortgage to be recorded. Perhaps Jane sold the property and she sold it to Mike and Mary. Now we're looking for a deed from Jane to Mike and Mary. The moment we come across something within that chain of title or that chain of events that we miss, or there's a disconnect and we jump from D to E or what have you, we have what's called a break in the chain of title. That creates a problem. That starts us saying that we may not have marketable title at the end of this search. But again, what we're looking for when we're creating a title search for you guys, we're looking to make sure that all the dots are connected with respect to ownership, with respect to released mortgages. We're also looking to determine what type of property taxes have been assessed against the property and if those taxes are paid or unpaid. If taxes are considered a lien. So as we know, just talking right now, for taxes that go unpaid for a certain amount of time, they become delinquent, then they go into foreclosure status. And if they continue to be unpaid, of course, the county comes in and foreclose. So that's huge when we're doing a title search because we're determining what taxes are out there, what taxes are owed. Not only are we looking at taxes, but sometimes we're looking for special assessments from various cities. It could be special assessments for weed cutting. It could be special assessments for sidewalks. It could be special assessments for milk runs if we're talking some property that's up in our northern area. So again, those are considered liens. Those are the type of items that we would reference on this title search that we're putting together, along with other things that we look for, what we call liens or encumbrances, open mortgages if they're still outstanding. We run, if you didn't know this, and I'm sure a lot of you in our audience that have followed us know that when we're putting a search together, we're running our seller's name or the current owner's name because we're trying to determine if, from a public record standpoint, if they have any bankruptcies or judgments or IRS or state or federal liens filed against them as an individual or as an LLC. If you own real estate, those type of items attached to your real estate becomes an asset or collateral. So that means we have to raise that as a notation on our title search. Because again, we're looking to make sure that everything that's covered from a public record standpoint is noted when you're hiring us to do a search for you. So once we've completed a full abstracting or a full pull down of all documents that are recorded against this property or recorded against an individual that owns this property, this real estate, this land, let me put emphasis, we put a report together. And what that report outlines, again, is ownership, who actually owns it. Maybe there's someone else that had an interest in the property because a deed wasn't executed correctly, or a wife didn't sign off, only a husband, or two or three people owned it and only one or two signed off. So we reference if there's other parties that may have an interest in the property. We talk about, again, those outstanding taxes, those outstanding blights, if someone has a judgment against them. All that is delivered in the form of a title report. So before we get to a policy, it's this report that we put together, and we put that to you, and we say, hey, you wanted to know what was going on with the property. Here's what's going on with the property. Mary owns the property, but Mary has a mortgage on here for $15,000 for equity line of credit. Mary has $5,000 delinquent property taxes. Mary had a judgment because she didn't pay off a car 4 years ago. So the collection agency filed a judgment against her, which they filed it against her name. Now it follows her against her property. Then we also may say, hey, there's a blight violation. Mary lives in Detroit. She didn't remove her trash in time, so she has a blight violation against the real estate part of the house. So all this comes in the report, and you're, from a consumer standpoint, and saying, well, I want title insurance, I want a warranty deed. How do I get there off of this report? Well, again, in order to get from a title report to a title insurance or a warranty deed, everything that I just outlined needs to be addressed in a manner of, Mary needs to pay off that judgment, meaning that we need to get a payoff. Mary needs to pay off that open mortgage, meaning that we need to get a payoff. Mary has taxes that we're going to pay at closing. Mary may have that water bill. So in order for us to get from a title search to a title policy and you to get a warranty deed, everything that I just identified must be paid off in advance or at closing from whatever the sales price is or whatever the money value is that you've discussed with Mary. So if Mary is saying she's going to sell this house for $100,000, off the top of that $100,000, from a title insurance or a title closing perspective, we're deducting those taxes, we're deducting those waters, we're deducting that mortgage, we're deducting money for that judgment. Because again, our job as the title company is to make sure that all open liens and or encumbrances have now been paid in full or will be paid in full. We're also addressing the fact that Mary needs to fully execute a deed. On top of that, we're deducting the money that we must be paid as a premium. Title insurance isn't something that just happens. You pay for it as a premium as you would any other type of policy. So in order to convert a search into a title policy, you pay a premium. All these things must take place before we can just say we're going to convert a title commitment into a policy. But my point of it is, that's how we get from a search to a policy. Everything that's identified as issues must be addressed. And once they are addressed, and as a title company, we feel that those obligations have been satisfactory, then we can turn around and take that search and turn it into an actual policy, a policy that looks just like a policy if you were getting life insurance or if you were getting auto insurance. The only difference with the title policy, once you've been binded as an owner, is that policy covers you from 40 years back. So whereas your homeowner's insurance and your auto insurance will cover you for instances that may happen in the future, title insurance covers you from the past 40 years. So if for some reason us humans in doing our search missed a lien, missed collecting some taxes, missed the open mortgage against Mary, that previous owner, before you took ownership, and it became an issue, you have title insurance, you file a claim against that policy with us, and we step in your shoes and fight the battle to clear that up. So again, keep in mind, when you're talking title insurance, you're not talking about some type of policy that's going to cover you for future acts, because you own that property. What happens in the future is now on you. What title insurance does is it covers you for acts from the previous owner going 40 years back. The other difference with title insurance, unlike your homeowner's insurance and your auto insurance, is that it's a one-time fee. A lot of folks, and we'll talk about this when we go talking about why you want a warranty deed versus why you want a quick claim deed over a warranty deed, because you're thinking of cost. A lot of folks think that title insurance, one, is very expensive, or two, is something that you have to do annually every year. No, title insurance is a one-time cost, and if you're looking at a traditional transaction, it's a cost that's paid at the time you're doing your real estate transaction. So if you're getting a mortgage and you're buying your house through a regular purchase money mortgage, your title insurance is factored into your closing costs. If you are paying cash, your title insurance is factored into your closing costs. For those of you that didn't know it, and we'll touch on it a little bit, if you're doing a land contract purchase and you go through a title company, can you get title insurance? Absolutely. And guess what? Your title insurance is collected through your closing costs. Title insurance.
I ain't going to no title company for no land contract. I'm gonna get this man this money, sign this loose piece of paper, and keep it moving.
You know what? We're going to come back to that in a minute because you just made me mad. And we'll talk about why you need title insurance on your land contract. But again, title insurance is collected through any closing costs one time, and your policy carries you for the duration that you own the real estate. So, and it passes on through to your heirs. So if you own the real estate for 40 years, you have title insurance for 40 years. If you pass away, then that policy goes to your heirs. So again, I'm saying this to put emphasis on those out here saying, oh, I'm going to just do a quick claim deed, or those like Opulent Realty talking about they ain't getting title insurance.
Hey, watch it now.
You need to understand the importance of why you want that policy. Because again, it's probably one of the cheapest part of the real estate variables there is, and it carries the most weight.
Why do I need a policy when I can just go down to the register of deeds and search, do my own search, pull the last known deed that's on file? I mean, come on now.
All
It
right,
ain't that
junior
hard.
examiner. All right,
Or
junior examiner.
or my cousin works for so and so, and they gonna pull it up for me. They said it was
Yeah.
straight.
And tell me, and when you go down there and you put your head in that little kiosk machine, or you call your cousin to do it, and your cousin says, oh, yeah, Mary owns it, but your cousin doesn't know to look at the deed that was deeded to Mary and see that John and Sally owned it, but only John deeded out. So tell me what happened to Sally.
I don't know, but I know I'm straight because my cousin
I'm
said
straight. My cousin
Right. Call your
said,
cousin. Call your
and I
cousin.
only seen one, so and it wasn't no mortgage on file.
And so
yeah.
that's the reason right there why we say do not go down to the kiosk machine and try to do your own search. You know, what you find is, and I get it and I can appreciate it, you go down there, or you go to the clerk and say, I want the last deed, and they give you the last deed, but they don't know to look for other title defects. They don't know to look for if there was a husband and wife and only the wife deeded out. They don't know to look for there was two mortgages and only one got released. They don't know to look for a claim of lien or a claim of interest. So there's other documents that come along with doing a title search that could get you jammed up. They don't know how to do a bankruptcy search. They don't know how to do a IRS lien search. They don't know how to look for descendants. So there's a lot behind why you need to go through a title company to do a search versus going down to the Wayne County Register of Deeds or calling your cousin Poo Poo. I'm just saying.
It's actually Keisha, but okay.
Same thing.
Raekwon.
What type of policies can you get? There's the most common is a owner's policy. An owner's policy goes with a cash transaction. And when you're doing a cash transaction, let me put emphasis on there's only one title company, one policy, one title company. There's no, I want my homegirl to do the policy and I want my homeboy to do the policy. There's only one type of policy because it's a cash transaction. So you only need one title company. And the purpose behind that policy is to ensure you as the new owner, hence owner's policy. If you're getting a mortgage, then there's generally two type of policies in a transaction. That is your loan policy as well as the owner's policy. The owner policy protects you. The loan policy, guess what? It protects the lender. So in a case like that, you can have two title companies, two closings. We'll talk about splits if we have time. But going back to opulence comment, there is what's called a land contract policy. And I do encourage folks to start taking advantage of that. I get it more quite often than none where they call me after the fact and say, I just closed on a land contract. I gave Mary 15 down. We have a land contract, but now I'm nervous because she still can do something with the property. How do I protect my interests? That's when you want to do what's called a memorandum of land contract. But the reason I encourage you to get not only a land contract policy, but involve a title company is because we do more than just a closing. We actually provide you with a policy, same scenario as I explained to you, as far as we go back with the full search. We're checking that owner, because if that owner has liens or encumbrances against them and now you're going and you're getting in bed with them on a payment plan, a pay as you go or a payment to own, you do have equity, but your equity is now tied in with their issues. So now you both have issues. You're paying on a house that you're looking to own, but you're paying on a house that they have issues on. So when you're doing a land contract, if there's issues out there with that owner, you want those matters resolved before you close on that land contract. The other thing that you want to do in order to get a land contract policy is you want to record a document called a memorandum of land contract to secure your interest in that property. Keep in mind, when you're doing a land contract, folks, you're not doing a lease. You're every month you make a payment, you're putting equity into that house. You have what's called an owner's equity interest. So in order to perfect that, you need to have a memorandum recorded. Tied in with the memorandum, you can get a land contract owner's policy.
So if I don't pay, they just can't. They can send me a 7-day notice, right, and then just put me out after we go to court.
No, because when you have a land contract interest, you have equity. So from a purchaser standpoint, it's a benefit because they have to foreclose up on you just as if you were paying a mortgage. So you have to go through the full 6-month foreclosure. And that's a benefit to the buyer. It's not always a benefit to the land contract seller, but it does work, because what you don't want to happen is you're making payments and you don't have anything recorded to perfect your interest. And heaven forbid the seller passes away. Heaven forbid the seller decides that he needs some money and he go and use the house as collateral on something that you have an equity interest in. And that's all because you didn't go through a title company, or you didn't know to record a memorandum. Or the seller passes away and you don't have a deed in escrow. What's your question?
Church finger. So can I put a memorandum on the property that I'm wholesaling? Because I know in other states people do that. So I don't know if you can do that in Michigan.
Well, let's talk about what you mean by memorandum and wholesaling all in the same sentence.
True.
So you talking about a memorandum to perfect your interest for a deal that you got on lock, or a memorandum related to a land contract?
For a deal that you got on lock.
Okay,
I've never done it, but I've heard people do it. I don't know if they do it in Michigan though.
Well, I mean, it's just, people call it, terminology is interchangeable. They call it a memorandum of interest. They call it a claim of interest. They call it an affidavit. So that's what you're referring to. When we're talking memorandum in the content of a land contract, we're talking about an actual land contract memorandum, which is a document that's putting parties on notice saying, hey, these two people are in a land contract. And all we're going to record is the memorandum. You don't need to know the terms of the land contract because that's not of public information. You just need to know that this buyer has an equity interest and this seller is in a land contract with them. So we call it a land contract memorandum. Whereas what you're referring to is you got a wholesale deal on the line and you done locked down a purchase agreement with your seller, and you want to file an affidavit of interest or a memorandum of interest of some sort to secure that the seller's not going to go behind you and try to sell this property to someone else. So that's the difference there. People do those. I mean, that's like the common thing right now. People are doing them. I call it a cloud on title. I don't like it, but you do what you got to do. The only thing is, when we get ready to close as a title company, if you are that particular wholesaler to file the memorandum, you're going to have to file a release at closing. If you're not the wholesaler, you secured your interest by having a memorandum, we can't close until we get to the bottom of what happened to the person that filed this affidavit if you're not them. So to answer your question, yeah, you can put you can file anything on title that you want to, even if it's fraudulent, even if it's frivolous. You can cloud the title. We have to deal with it. And we get that quite often. People go and they file documents of interest or fraudulent deeds, or hell, they file a purchase agreement. They cloud in the title to secure their interest, even if it's not a valid interest. And unfortunately, we have to deal with it. We can't just ignore it. We may know that it's not valid, but it's a cloud on title. And in order for us to give marketable title to the next party, is something that has to be dealt with. If that
Okay.
answered your question.
It did. Thank you.
Let's talk about quick claim deeds versus warranty deeds. And when I say this, and I'm sure those of you that follow me, I am not talking about a quick, QUICK. No,
Make it quick.
I am not. I am talking about a quit. Quit. When you provide a quit claim deed, basically what you're doing is I quit. I give you whatever interest I have in this property and the issues that come with it. So now it's your problem. You deal with it. I may have an ownership interest. It may not even be a valid ownership interest. I may have a partial ownership interest. And there's all kind of other issues. But the moment you give me money and I give you the deed, those are your issues now. Can you get a policy with a quit claim deed? Not with individuals, not with LLCs. As title people, we will give an owner's policy for municipalities in most cases, or for REOs, real estate owned properties, some trust, things of that nature. Certain situations we'll put a policy behind a quick claim deed, but most of the time we're looking for a warranty deed or a covenant deed. But a lot of folks say, hey, save time and money. I don't want to go through the title company, so I'm gonna just do a quick claim deed because I'm gonna hit this lick. That's great, but with you hitting that lick and you going down there and calling Pookie or Opulent and saying, doing me a search, and they don't tell you about those other documents behind that only recorded deed, you just got yourself jammed up. That's half of my day every day dealing with those type of phone calls. I bought it on a quick claim deed. I just dumped $30,000 in this property, and I didn't realize that it was a probate going on, or that she said she owned it, but really she didn't own it. Grandma owned it, and she didn't go through the proper channels to get the proper probate documents to sell it. What do I do now? You call yourself a probate attorney? Yes.
So when you just said about like somebody put 30,000 in there and they done did all this work, when I was pulling my permit the other day, this guy, I guess he was taking his tenant to court. I guess because of all this COVID stuff, the tenant is trying to say that the tenant put 35,000 worth of work in the house. So the owner got some sense, like, well, if you did this in the house, where's your permit? So he went down to the city to get something in writing, I guess, to help his case. Because anybody can say I put $35,000 worth of work in here, but where's your proof?
Mm-hmm.
So
and
I know this.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
That
No, I know
falls
it's kind of off topic, but it kind of just brought that up. Like, damn, that's a good point.
Well, it's not really off topic, because if the tenant felt that they had this house and they felt that this house was theirs to the point that they put that type of money in it, there probably was some discussion of each time you make your payments, you're doing a rent to own. So they probably or maybe thought that they were in a land contract. And again, I'm only using that as a scenario because that would be a good scenario where there was discussion of a land contract. Hey, you can do what you want in this house each time you make a payment. You doing a rent to own. When we get ready to settle up, I'll give you credit for everything that you've paid to date or what have you. So that gave the tenant the thought that they could dump this money. Where they went wrong at, if that was a discussion, and we're just presuming,
Right.
that memorandum. Because the only time that you can actually claim that type of equity, if you truly did do that, is if you're in a land contract and you're making those payments to own and you filed that memorandum to perfect your equity interest. So something went wrong there with, again, a lot of folks don't understand the importance of how to structure and how to close on a true land contract and record those proper documents. But, if they just put money in the house and there was nothing in writing or an agreement as it relates to that, they just did that guy a favor and made.
Now, my cousin said that if I put money on here.
Who is this cousin?
That's Marcus' ghetto side of the family.
My cousin said that if I pay his taxes and I put money in here in this house, that means they give me interest in it and I can put my deed on it. That's what happened.
Yep, tell your cousin that Thank you very much, because that happens quite often too. And I'm again.
That sounds like the same cousin that be like, "Oh, you don't need no permits for land bank houses. I can do all the work."
Exactly. That's the cousin that's got y'all running around here talking about, I'm gonna pay these taxes and I'm gonna have a tax deed interest. Michigan does not do that anymore. Pay the go online right now and pay some of those taxes to get them off of the off of the foreclosure list.
Exactly. Let me give y'all some addresses. Let me give y'all some address paper.
Right. That Longfellow or wherever she at, Big Red. Thank you very much. But no,
Big Red up to date. Thank you. It was just Parker that wasn't in Balfour.
Let the church say amen. But but my point is, and this is, it's funny that you, oh, there you go. It's funny that you bring that up, because I had a deal not too long ago, and unfortunately a lot of our out-of-state investors do this. They are searching the records to see who owned property so that they can go ahead and make some offers or send out those mailers or whatever. And they don't realize that the county records are not matching the city of Detroit assessor's records, which does not match the Wayne County Register of Deeds records. So we've gotten 3 or 4 deals where my investors are looking at the taxpayer of record from the BS&A site or from the Wayne County Treasurer site, which may have been the taxpayer of record that lost the property in the 2014 or the 2013 tax foreclosure. And they're reaching out to that person and negotiating a deal and putting a purchase agreement on lock, and now trying to wholesale the deal. And when we pull the title work, the title search, that abstracting that I explained to you guys, and I say, wait a minute, John Jackson owned this property, but the purchase agreement that you just submitted shows Marcus Twyman. Marcus lost his property in the 2013 tax foreclosure. Why are you even talking to him? Oh, well, I looked at the taxpayer of record through the Wayne County Treasurer site. Or, oh, I went on BS&A. Or, oh, I went on Loveland. Why did you do that?
That sounds like when people look at houses on Google and that picture from '89.
Exactly. So
the block still look like that.
The point that I'm trying to make to the listeners are, again, the title company are the ones that can truly tell you, and we can only tell you based on what's recorded. So there's even a caveat there for us. When we're pulling our searches, our information comes from recorded data. There's always that room of, and that's why we do the search, and that's why we act like investigators, and that's why people say you're doing the most. I don't know why the title company always doing the most. I mean, you called me. You called me. You called me. You hired me to facilitate your closing. You hired me to protect your investment. You hired me to make sure your shit is marketable, but I'm doing the most because I'm slowing down your 7 to 10.
Nobody asked you to pull them blights. I just asked you to close this deal. That's all.
Right. Because you don't understand what you're asking for. You just want to close. You don't understand the importance of what could happen if we don't do it correctly. So again, part of that I'm saying is you go onto the taxpayer record site, and I'm saying, no, I'm looking at the Wayne County Register of Deeds. And even then we'll say, well, Jack signed a purchase agreement, but Mary is the last person on title that we see. Oh, yeah, I have an unrecorded deed. Well, when was you planning on telling us that? Oh, I was just going to bring it to closing. Well, when and how and where was the deed executed at? Well, Jack was Mary's nephew. But okay, I just pulled up Mary. Mary died in 2 years ago.
He got it right before she died. She was on her deathbed. She had 2 seconds to live.
Just made it.
And the notary was there.
Just made it.
Notary was in the room. Jack was in the room.
Here's this deed. Or there is no deed. Mary was my aunt. Mary told me I've been taking care of Mary. I did everything for Mary. Mary said, this is my house up on her death. We talked about that. I'm in the will. Well, where's the will? I don't have it. My auntie has it. Okay. Well, what paperwork do you have? I'm in the obituary. Okay.
Girl.
You laughing, but I'm serious.
No, I know you serious.
I'm serious.
I know you serious. That's the special friend.
You know, and that's the quick, let's hurry up 10-day closing. So now you know, now you mad at the top. Why you being the police, title lady? Because you hired me to do a job. So again, I'm saying, and then y'all laughing, but y'all know I'm serious.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
said I
reason.
pay your $275. Now let's close this.
Nope, I only want the 275 if you can't do it right, and especially if you can't spell the word quick right. Because I just had that not too long ago. I had a copy and paste of a deed or an affidavit because we had to hurry up and get some. They was trying to hurry up and get some things moved around, and they emailed me over this copy and paste of this affidavit where it was releasing some recorded items I needed. And as I'm examining this document, because I'm doing the most, I'm reading it, and it was late. It was after 5, and if it's after 5, sometime I'll admit I may pull out just a little bit of a sip. Long day. So I'm reading this document, and I said, well, damn, have I been drinking 2 sips, or did I just see the word quick? QUICK.
So you can quit like as in, let's go to the store, come back quick.
Yes. And it was supposed to be, I'm releasing, with this document is to release the interest of quit claim deed recorded in library, blah, blah, blah. But it said quick. And this was a legal binding document signed by an attorney. Right. So as I'm reading, the first sentence said quick, read a little bit further. Second paragraph said quick, read a little bit further. Third paragraph said quick. Then the library pages was blank. Then I look and I'm like, there's no damn way the attorney drafted that. Doing too much, come to find out it was an altered copy and paste document. But from the eye of someone that just goes over to the Wayne County Register of Deeds and do their own search or call Cousin Keisha, would have never caught that. That's why it's important to have a title company or to get title insurance. Because one more thing, hold that pause. Because had I not caught that, had I had been on that second or third sip and missed it, and I closed on that with that document, and later on it come out that it was fraudulent, that would have been a total title failure. But the only beauty of it would have been that client would have had title insurance. So they would have been insured for whatever their losses were with that house. That's the beauty of why you get title insurance. But also, as title people, we have a fiduciary duty. We have an obligation to act like the police almost. Because, yeah, we're a title insurance company, but we're just not out here giving away policies.
Yeah, but I mean, you do. If you think about it, if you're giving away title insurance, somebody's committing fraud. I mean, that's a policeable action. So, I mean,
yeah. So again, it's doing the most, but you hired me to do a job. What was your question?
Not really a question, more of a church announcement. I forgot to say about the Cash App. We are for-profit entities. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom, boom. So the thing is going across the bottom of your screen. So if you want a question answered, not a paragraph, how can I blank? What is blank? Not a paragraph with a lot of semicolons, hyphens, and apostrophes. None of that. So I just wanted to put that disclaimer. Continue. I'm sorry.
No. I
mean,
go on and
people
on.
try it, so I'm just saying.
Let the church say amen, because y'all know I get worked up when we get to talking about this title insurance and
amen
and don'ts. So we talked about land contract policies. A lot of folks didn't realize that those were options. Yes, they are. We talked about, a brief synopsis of warranty deed versus quick claim deeds. We did touch on the quick claim deed. It basically just gives the interest that I have in some property, even if I don't have any. I got a fraudulent deed. I'm giving you what I have. And if you don't do your due diligence, you just got. Whereas if you get a warranty deed, with the warranty deed, what it does is me saying, I warrant that I'm giving you marketable property. I warrant that property is free and clear, and that all my taxes have been paid, my blight violations have been paid. I don't have any personal actions against me that will impact you or stop you from being able to go and sell this property. So even if you don't get title insurance and you got a warranty deed, you have something. But let's just be real about it, people. I can give you a warranty deed right now and I don't have a pot to piss in. So if I give you a deed and there's,
I'm sorry, can you say that again, please?
A warranty deed and a pot to piss in, I do not have.
Right.
So if I give you a deed and there's liens or there's issues and you go to take me to court and I don't have anything, you're not going to get anything. So when I'm sitting up and I'm hearing folks call me talking about, yo, I want a warranty deed. No, dog. you want title insurance. That's why you're calling me. A warranty deed is only going to get you so far. What you want are the pockets that run deep. You want a title insurance. You want a title policy. You want same thing. And I always go back to using title insurance as a comparison of people understanding it works just like auto insurance. It works like homeowners insurance. There's underwriters behind us. I'm an agent of a larger underwriter. So I can shut my doors tomorrow. And like I was telling Marcus and Asia earlier, I'm going to go work at Target. Shut my doors tomorrow and I'm at Target. You're going to come find me. I'm going to say, call the underwriter.
Can you work in the snacks so we can get free slushies?
I'm not working in snacks. I'm working in the jewelry section. I like the little dainty stuff, but or the pajamas and stuff in the wintertime. But
I
think I would be good in the audio video section.
Yeah, you would be good in the audio video section.
I don't have to put me on top because I don't want to deal with people.
They'll never help you. They're like, is this TV for sale? I guess.
Let me get back to I was on my soapbox. So what you want is title insurance, because you got to understand with that policy, if there is a claim, you're not calling the seller, you're calling me. I'm calling my underwriter if it's truly a claim, or I'm calling my examiner before I'm calling my underwriter. Like, what do we do here? But the point is with title insurance, and if there's a claim, you sit back and enjoy the ride, and you let the title people fight that. You let the title people determine if it's truly a claim, if it's truly a loss. But that's because you have title insurance. A warranty deed, absence of title insurance, you got to fight your own issues. You got to chase down John, who was acting like he had a whole lot of cash and really running around with deep pockets, and now you're trying to sue him and you can't find him because he don't have anything. So yeah, you did get a warranty deed, but you didn't get the title insurance. Now, as title people, this is where we say, we'll give you the title insurance. We want the seller to give the warranty deed. We're in the same boat you're in. If he ain't got shit, he ain't got shit. But the point is, we'll take that and we'll go after him if we have to. But hopefully we don't have to do that if we did our examining job to the best of our abilities. And our examining jobs comes with us looking at those documents and doing what y'all say we doing the most. Mm-hmm. So that's how that works. When you out here saying, you want a warranty deed, no, what you really want is title insurance, which means you need to be calling the title company. And I see my number right there across the screen. You had a question for me.
Who had a question?
Asia, did you have a question?
I said at the church announcement.
Oh, my bad.
How many nips today?
You guys want to open up the doors for questions, or should I go on with my soapbox? Because I can go on and on and on.
How many nips today?
Did anybody on Instagram got a question? A means one. I'm just saying, A means one. When you look up A, that means one.
I got a question.
Go ahead, sir.
How do I place an order? Do I go online?
You can go online at www.detroittitleandescrow.com. There is a page where you can do an order submission. You can email orders plural, at dettitle.com and place an order that way. Or you can email me or call me. I prefer not to get text orders because you get shifted to the side.
I feel some shade in this room.
Guess who's getting the small room? Guess who's getting the small room?
Text orders just start good. You can always call me. You don't get me. A lot of folks say, well, I ain't get you. Well, that's where I have Morgan.
Or you know what you can do? You can call her out on Facebook.
Oh, you can call me out on Facebook. And I'm looking like, yo, did you just call me out on Facebook?
I saw that this morning. I was like,
because okay. My voicemail is full. Damn, can I go to the doctor? I mean, did you?
I love how you put that on. He was like, doctor's appointment. Thank you very much.
I was at the doctor. I'm going to get with you, But there's plenty of ways to find me. I don't run the good, the bad, the good news, the bad news, the questions, whatever. Place an order. Text me. I'm gonna forward it to title. But I prefer not to place orders through text. You can call me. But our orders are the information that I gave you. www.detroittitleandescrow.com. Orders at dettitle.com, or my email is elder at dettitle.com.
Okay, so how do I pay you? Do I pay you for the title search first, or like do you do it and then I pay you, or
If you're just doing a search, if you're just looking to get information, you can pay online through our invoicing. We can send you a link, or you could drop a payment off, and as you pay first, and then once your search is done, it's delivered. If you are in connection with the purchase agreement, there's a trust factor there, and we try to live by that. If you're a realtor and you're doing business and you have a bona fide contract, and the goal is to hopefully get it to close, then we'll go ahead and take that contract and get your order started. But if it does not close, then you're going to be getting an invoice from us. Some folks are honest and pay, other folks move on, but then you always find yourself having to come back. And I'm gonna be like, what up though? Where's my cash?
How do y'all deal with that? Like, do y'all just get payment first? Because I always wondered that, especially like all these new wholesalers, we want to pull all this title and be leaving y'all with all these invoices. Like, I always
It
wonder how it
happens.
works.
It happens. You take the good with the bad. There's a lot because, and especially with, and we'll talk a little bit about tax foreclosures and stuff. I'm a stickler with getting the money for a tax foreclosure, a FOIA pull up front before I am getting a search payment up front. And the reason being is because if you don't have $75 to invest in, then we shouldn't even be talking. I'm saying $75 to pull this FOIA. I'm gonna pay. Our people are gonna go down there and get it. I gotta look at the FOIA. I gotta review it. I gotta pull other docs. And if you can't pay $75 for a damn FOIA, then I don't even know why we're talking. But there's a lot of fallout. It's a balance, excuse me, with stuff that close, but then there's a lot that does not close. But then you get to learn who those wholesalers are. And it's not just wholesalers, so I'm not gonna even put my investors out there like that. It's agents too.
mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, and it's always been like that. Before wholesaling became the big thing, it was agents. I mean, they say order pre-title, and that's great, but that comes with building a relationship with your title company, because you may order 7, 5 close. I'm not finna huff over 2, but you order 7 and only 3 close. I'm like, well, damn, I gotta call you because that's not even half. But it's about building those relationships. But it's a two-way street. You want to build a relationship with me, I have to be able to give you the things that you're looking for. That communication, helping you with your title and stuff. Speaking of which, it's kind of viewed weird because people look at the title company, they look at us and say, well, that's what I paid you for. They look at us and they see attorneys. We're not attorneys. We are an expert in our field. We give you a product. We tell you what items need to be satisfied in order for us to get to close table. Now, us at Detroit Title, unlike some other title companies, and I'm sure you guys have experienced them, some title companies going to see you your commitment and going to see you your docs and say, get with me when you got what I need.
That's right.
And you like, well, what the hell do you need? I don't know this. I don't know what this shit say. So you kind of stuck. So then you having to go and get an attorney, or you sending stuff and it's not what you need. Where we do try to take the time to say, let me see what you have. Let me walk through your commitment with you. But we get a lot of folks to say, why I got to do this? That's why I hired you. No, you hired me to give you a report. You hired me to give you the facts of what's going on with it. And I'm telling you what I need to get to point A to B. But I'm not the one that should be calling and trying to find an old mortgage. I'm not the one that should be trying to chase down your probate documents. I'm telling you what I need to get you closed. Now, if you need assistance with that, some stuff we just can't and will not do. That's when you need to hire an attorney. Or if you need assistance with some billing on how to split your proceeds up, or if you're going to have capital gain or not, you need to hire an accountant.
Absolutely.
And people get it twisted. They think, and I get it so often, what did I hire you for? Not to be your accountant.
Not to be your attorney.
I can't be your accountant. Not to be your attorney. You really?
Yeah, we can hear that.
My bad, somebody sent me a house.
Really? This is my time. This is my time.
My bad, Tarjay. Excuse me.
Not to be your accountant, not to be your attorney, but we do try to help because we get it. This isn't your area of expertise. So when I'm talking about a release or a satisfaction of mortgage, you looking at me like, what the hell? What do you need? Let me help you along, but also let me remind you, I'm not an attorney. It's certain things I just cannot do. And folks get that. I get probate calls all the time. All the time. All I can tell you,
nobody ever wants to pay the fees.
No fees. They don't even want to pay the $150, the $75.
Everybody wants stuff free.
When it comes to probate, all I can tell you are the documents that I need to get you closed. I can tell you what sites to go to get those documents, but I cannot go to court for you. I cannot make your appointments. I cannot fill out your affidavits. But what I can do is text you some attorneys that I work with. The same thing with when it comes to, well, I got my LLC, but I don't have a bank account. And if I open up a bank account, I'm going to get hit with this and that. I cannot set the bank account up for you. All I can do is pay the LLC that owns the real estate on title. If you didn't want to use that LLC or you didn't have a bank account, you should have never put the deed in that name. I can't, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
Simple. So check this out, y'all. So this group called me. They from New York. They got like 40, 50 properties in Detroit. And they want me to be their full-time GC. Now, I've been down this road before. It always boils down to money and integrity. So I met with them today on Virginia Park Market. They love the work. They like, this is amazing, but we not doing all this because we're just doing Section 8. So I'm like, who are your Section 8 tenants? Are they in Detroit? He like, yeah. I'm like, oh, people that look like me. So what's your level of quality that you want to do? So they like, well, in the wintertime, we don't put furnaces in. I'm like, so how do they do the work? He said, we use the torpedoes. I'm like, fire hazard because that's kerosene, but that's neither here nor there. People got asthma, other lung problems. Okay, number one. And I was like, well, sir, if that's all you're doing in the winter, do you know how it gets way colder here than it does in New York in the winter? Like remember we had the polar vortex below 40, 50 degrees. So I'm like, so how am I supposed to paint drywall?
That's all I was about to say.
Hell, how I'm a grout, put some tile in and it's cold. He's like, oh, that's what we do to torpedoes. I'm like, yep, not the contractor for you. I was like, and I wanted to be like, tomorrow Juneteenth too, and you trying me, but that's neither here nor there. So that was that. So then he looking at the house, he like, this is amazing, the level of quality, all the type of work, but Section 8, we're not doing that. I'm like, Detroit is a majority black city. He like, oh, well, it's not about race. I'm like, how is it not about race? Detroit is a majority black city. And so whoever you're doing Section 8 to, they look like me. I was like, I'm not about to contribute to the slumlord stuff. I'm like, sir, do you know how many years I went broke because it was so many jobs I would not do because y'all want me to do a piss poor job and you written to somebody that looks like me? I was like, I can't do that. I was like, nah, it's probably other contractors out here that can, but I want to be like, I'm not the Negro for you. But I was like, he was like, well, we'll call you. I was like, don't worry about it. Y'all ain't got to call because I'm really not expecting a call from y'all. And I don't need y'all to call because y'all called me. Y'all reached out to me.
And at the end of the day, that work
turns really pissing me off, dog. Like
it turns out so terrible.
Every time.
I've seen properties where people have used a torpedo to try to paint a room and oh my God. Oh my God.
I was like, I'm not doing that, sir. I was like, I'm gonna need a whole furnace with DTE paid and on. I like, you see how this house look? That one would look like this, not with these.
Don't you need running water too?
Running water, all of that.
Don't the heat need to be on for the water to run? Because if the heat ain't on, the water gonna freeze.
That's where I was going with that. And so then you have piping issues and you have crackings and all this other stuff.
And then he like, well, we were in the Section 8, so he like, you refinish all the hardwood floors in your house like this. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm not putting carpet down because it stinks if they nasty. And then if I got to pull it up, I still got to fix the floor anyway because all that sticky stuff is down there and all the staples from the carpet. He like, well, we use the nice vinyl plank. I'm like, okay, I kind of see that, but why would I put that over beautiful natural hardwood floors? Like us Detroiters, renters or land or homeowners, we love our hardwood floors. Yeah. And I'm like, yes, sir, I'm not the person for you. Like, so I want to be like, get the fuck on, but that would have been rude. So I've been rude.
That would have been rude. You're not rude. You would never say that live like that. You're not rude.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, that be pissing me off when, like, so y'all who want to invest in Detroit, don't come here with that BS. Like, we all true Detroiters. We love this city. You're written to a 85% black city, so your tenants gonna look like me. Just because they on Section 8 don't mean they shouldn't have nothing nice. True. And then they gonna say, well, we passed all our Section 8 inspections. I was like, wow, Section 8 inspections. Oh my God, so hard to pass. All he gonna do is stick something in the damn socket and it's gonna turn green and the electrical gonna pass. He ain't looking in that box. He ain't making sure all the right stuff is wired right. He ain't looking at that. And I'm like, dog, like I was so mad. Like I was really pissed. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not the contractor for y'all. And then he was like, well, how much your average roof cost? I'm like, a roof on Virginia Park, $25,000, $30,000. This is a big ass roof. Mm-hmm. He's like, well, we paid $4,000 for a roof. I was like, how?
Where?
I was like, they must just shingle it on top of what's there. They ain't take
That's more
nothing off.
likely what it
They
is.
ain't,
They
they
shingling
ain't,
on top of it.
they ain't replacing out a sheet of decking is damn near $100 a sheet right now.
Wow.
So what are
Yeah,
you doing
Wow.
for it?
a
Like, dog,
950 square foot house bungalow used to cost somewhere between, well, what I paid with Mr. Roof was like 5 to 6 grand. Now
but
is
that's
that,
the roof. That's no decking, no gutters,
I
no
know
socket.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, but now it's even just that is somewhere between 7 and 9 grand. And don't have to add the decking if it got all cedar shake. I think the last quote I got was between 10 and 12 grand.
Still cheap. Another thing, people want to just like if you just want me to put your gutters and downspouts up, that's not happening if your soffit in your face is rotted because that shit's gonna fall down, and then you're gonna get mad at me saying you did a piss poor job. My gutter's not holding up. So if I can't replace it, I'm not touching it.
Then
Like,
glue it up there. Use some Gorilla Glue.
or your cabinet is falling apart. Part of the cabinet is over there in the living room, but you want me to replace just the countertop. I'm not touching that. Because as soon as I lift this countertop out, the rest of these cabinets is going to be on the floor, just like the ones over there by the fireplace.
Get some Gorilla Glue and put it
And
in
No,
there.
guess what? All this that they're
get
talking about,
somebody else.
all this that they're talking about with these structural defects in your house, not covered under title insurance.
Oh yeah, you forgot to say that, Emma.
I
Once
didn't
you be
say
like,
that. I
they'll
said
call your
that.
office like,
I
the
said
roof
it
on this
early
house
on.
is all messed up.
I said it early
Don't
on.
my
I said,
title insurance policy cover that?
let me say it again right now to stop it. So whatever she just said is ugly and not right, not covered under your policy. Title insurance does not cover the structural dwellings of real estate. It covers the land. You can tear that house down tomorrow and still own the land. All the structure does is bring value. So people understand that when you're waiving these inspections and you're doing all this other stuff because you think you're getting all this other insurance, it's not covered. Stop waiving these certain inspections that you need for whatever the various reasons you need them, and get what you need. But title insurance does not cover structural dwellings, so we're not covering them soffits. Is that what they're called?
Yes, correct. Good job. So this is another thing I noticed. Like a lot of people who flipping houses, they don't want to pull permits. Why? I guess because of the money or the time. It's gonna take you longer because you can't just finish the house. I think it's because people just don't know what the hell they doing. They know it's gonna fail, but that's neither here nor there. But the reason I pulled permits on Big Orange, even though I didn't have to, because I know I'm gonna still do cold work. I want Marcus to be able to sell this house at the number I want, because then I got proof of everything I did behind that damn wall. I got proof of everything I did to put another bathroom upstairs.
Now, with that being said, and we talked about it before, and I'm saying it again, when you get ready to sell that damn house, tied in with this title insurance, I'm gonna need all them sworn statements and them waivers and all that
You
for
gonna
all
get
that
that?
work that has been done. And I'm just saying that because folks don't understand. They out here rehabbing these houses now, and any work that's been done within the last 120 days of you closing, and it's work that could constitute a lien. Don't get mad at these title companies when they saying they need those sworn statements and waivers, and you don't have your proper documents in order.
That's true.
You
That's
title company, you holding up my closing. Because anything that's major repair where a roofer's looking to get paid or electrician's looking to get paid or plumber's looking to get paid, anything that you are beautifying the house is considered a lien. And if those guys don't get paid, they go and they file a lien to perfect their lien rights before their
Yep.
time expires. That impacts your title insurance policy. So don't get mad at these title companies when they ask it for that stuff. If you
And
rehab it,
suppliers. They gotta pay the suppliers too, because suppliers can put liens on your properties
now,
too.
suppliers can put a lien, but they're also considered soft costs. So,
Mm.
because all they're doing is bringing and delivering a product, they're not actually putting they're not doing the work to beautify that home or to make that value. So, it's a little bit different. But again, a lien is a lien. If they chose to file a lien, it's something that has to be dealt with. But I'm bringing that up because we're in that season right now. And Marcus knows it. He's looking at these houses, these values are up and shit. It was a house that was just sold for 35,000. Now they're trying to sell it for 150,000. How did we get there?
Mm-hmm.
And so
Right.
when we're asking for these liens and these waivers from you guys, it's not because we're trying to delay your closing. It's because we have to follow the Construction Lien Act, and we have to make sure that everything and everyone are paid before we pass title to that new owner. So again, it all ties together. All this bitching and moaning that Asia's doing right now, it ties in with the owner's policy. You laughing, but I'm serious.
Well, you a stingy today, dog. We gotta get you in that Target uniform.
Yeah, I'm hot. I've been hot all damn week. I got an interview tomorrow at Target, y'all. I'm sorry. I love my team. I swear, I'm gonna get us a lead department or something. But yeah. Another thing with title, folks understand what it means when you're talking about taking a policy with exceptions. It sounds good. Give me I just want to close. I understand that's the issue. I'm gonna just take an exception to that. I'm gonna do a quiet title later. Do you know what you're taking? Do you know what it means to take an exception? Do you know what it means when you're saying you're gonna do a quiet title later? I don't even close on a lot of stuff if the take an exception doesn't make sense. I'm gonna tell you like Maddie told Mariah, make it make sense. If you gonna lie, make it make sense, or just don't do it. Anything that you do, make it make sense. So we get a lot of clients to be like, well, I just want to close. I need to hurry up and close. I can't find a release for that mortgage, but they said they paid it off. So we're going to close, leave that mortgage as an exception on my policy, and I'll go and quiet the mortgage later. Well, you may be exposing yourself to an obligation that you wasn't ready for. Mm-hmm. And if you sign off on a policy, the title policy that I'm closing and I'm saying I'm giving you coverage, the moment you say the word exception, that means these are things that are accepted out of your policy, meaning that if you have issues with those things, don't call me because you accepted them out. You signed off knowing that you took that risk on. That is not covered under your policy. So when you go say you're going to accept out a mortgage because the seller said they know they paid it off, but they can't give you any type of evidence of that, and the title company does allow you to do that exception, the moment you go starting that quiet, you may be waking a sleeping giant. And you may be opening yourself up to have to pay off someone else's old mortgage.
And let me tell you something. Home prices are up and the banks know it. So it ain't no more like at least 2 years ago or even I'm going to say 4 years ago where you might be able to get this house at pennies on a dollar. They want top dollar now. So that if it was a $95,000 mortgage, you more than likely go end up paying at least $90,000 for it.
Yeah. So, it's just be mindful because, a lot of folks we don't do what they call wraparounds anymore. That's basically taking an exception to a mortgage. Mm-hmm. We're not doing them because, the market, as Mark has indicated, the market is up, and where you thought you had that room for a resale and you saw your spread, it's a little bit challenging now because these lenders are like, we want top dollar. And for those that, some people that's in certain programs and the market is up, but some people are still financially suffering. Mm-hmm. And they haven't been making payments on certain things. And if you are not a seasoned investor, when you're talking about doing a wraparound and you didn't do your due diligence to see if they were behind on their payments or if they were in potential pre-foreclosure, or if there was other things going on and now you've taken a subject to on a mortgage and you trying to pay it off and they haven't been making payments, you just got yourself jammed up there. So, so we don't do subject tos anymore. It's just certain stuff where it's, again, make it make sense. And some stuff doesn't make sense. We don't have any questions from the audience.
Oh, y'all got any questions on Instagram? No paragraph. One question. Somebody said, I just recently purchased from the land bank. What's the best way to secure funding? You should have did that before you bought from the land bank. Is my opinion. Because they are very particular about their process. They will give you extensions, but if I tell people off top, if you broke, don't buy no damn land bank house. That's the last house you buy. You ain't got no money.
It's not only being broke, but if you're not familiar with, if you're not here, if you don't have boots on the ground, if you're not familiar with those type of land bank houses in the certain areas in the criteria, it may just not be a good idea. Or if you didn't do a full walkthrough with your contractor to get an idea of what your full rehab is going to be, it may not be a good idea. But I will say this, last week we had the wind down. I think it was last week. Shit, the weeks are running together. But we had the wind down, and I keep putting this out there for folks because I do try to find funding. And it's not that funding isn't available for land bank houses. What is getting in the way is the reversionary interest.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
funding is available. We have out of state lenders. I mean, right now the market's so hot for everything. We back having Finance America Corporation lending homes, title loans, all types of, I mean, shit, lenders that I can't even pronounce the name. Like, oh, we'll loan. So the money is there, but it's when it comes to a land bank house, they have their reversionary interest, that caveat in their deed when
Yep.
you signed off saying that you're going to rehab this house and you're going to do it in that X amount of time frame and you're going to comply. And if you don't, then they have the right to exercise their reverter interest, which is taking the property back. That is the land bank's lien interest, which primes a lender. So when you get a lender coming in saying you're an investor, you're a candidate that meets funding, we'll fund on your project, but we want to be in first lien position. They don't feel that they have first lien position if the land bank's reversionary interest is there. As title people, we can't insure over that because the land bank, black and white, it says on the deed, you cannot convey this property without their permission. So if you buying it or you selling it, or even if you're getting a mortgage, the lender wants to be first. The land bank ain't stepping back in some cases. So you come to this stall. Now I say that to say the only lender that I've seen do it, and I've closed them, and I keep giving her props. I don't know how they doing it. She's saying it's taking a long time. You need to call her and find out if you meet the criteria. Is Kim Groves over at Huntington Bank.
Okay.
She has gotten 3 properties that I've closed on, where the land bank has subordinated their reversionary interest, which allows the lender to be in first lien position and allows that refinance. So if you've purchased from the land bank, you're the owner now, and now you need the money, the equity money to go ahead and rehab, or you need a rehab loan, a refinance, not a purchase or a sale, a refinance. She's been able to get the lender to subordinate their interest. The land bank to subordinate their interest where that Huntington's first lien, and we can go ahead and get you closed. That's the only one I've seen so far. But it is a process.
My thing with land bank houses, I think if you new to flipping, I don't really think you should do a land bank house unless you got a good contractor like me that know what the hell they doing, to where it takes the stress off of you, like off the
That
client.
comes with having the capital. You got to have the capital.
You do have to have the capital. You have to have the capital. Because Emma, that was a good suggestion. Because my only suggestion was to try to find some type of angel investor. I've seen people put ads out there looking for people who just have cash that is willing to do somewhat of a private type of financing, to give them the capital for it to do it.
It's still a risk.
I mean, they'll take that risk.
Yeah.
Of course, comes with a fee.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, that would only be the other thing that I could think about until the house gets to a certain finished at a certain rate where it can be refinanced.
Now,
usually about at 90% of being complete, that's when usually a traditional bank will be able to come in and refinance, and the land bank will more than likely release somewhere between 80 and 90%.
Well, like I say, you need to reach out to Kim and find out the criteria.
I will. I just wrote that down.
She was at our. She
knew at Huntington, because I thought it was a Crystal that worked there. Doing
Crystal Gunn is one. She's one of the processors there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to downplay Crystal's position. I don't know if she's an LO too, but I know Kim and Crystal are. I work with both of them. But Kim is who came and spoke with us last week about the funding and what they were doing. We had a few funders come through to talk about just some financing. Me, I'm always trying to find the money. Where the money reside. The more money you guys I find for y'all, the more deals that we close, we all winning. But now I do know, and we talked about this before, we probably have to end up getting with DeQualis and getting him. He's one that I know, he knows that land bank stuff in and out. And I think there's certain things that you can do to get the permits that you need. You get the house to a certain status quo to get the permits that you need in order to be able to get the release. It doesn't always have to be.
No, and that's the thing. Let's just not make it seem like the land bank is this scary monster that's like, no,
exactly,
you can't have your house. I mean, as long as you are making progress, they will release the lien. I mean, even in the facts of if you have all of your HVAC, plumbing, and with
Electrical.
electrical done, even with your rough inspections, they may release it then because they feel like you're pretty much you've gotten the core of it done, and the rest is just cosmetic. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I've
So
had deals that actually were released at an earlier stage with just those three things were completed. Now,
yeah,
what we did do was pull those. Each tradesman at that time pulled their permits for it, um, and that's the reason why they released it. And even during that position, I had a client that sold the house during that process, and the next person just had to come in and close walls and things of that nature. So
yeah.
I mean, the
So
possibility is that all are possible. It's just about how you approach them and if you have an actual realistic plan
yeah, you
executing
gotta have a
the
plan
property.
going into it. You can't just say, "Oh, I got a land bank house, let's go."
Yeah.
You have to have a plan going into it. But what I will say, and again, do as you may, do. I'm only here to help you. I've always been here to help. Sometimes you don't listen until it's too late. Then you call me, and I'm like, "What you need?" But be careful with moving them properties on those quick claim deeds. Like I'm gonna hurry up and get it done because that language is in black and white and it ain't even small print. Some stuff, you be like, it's small print. No, it's not. It's real clear. What you should be getting from them and what you can or cannot do when it comes to conveying that property without their approval. I say that, do as you may.
I will say, I know some people be like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull a homeowner's permit," which you can, but the people doing the work still need to know code and know what the hell they doing. That be the problem. So, and
Because if
then
you, not to
go
cut
ahead.
you off, but I'm gonna cut you off. So if you pull a homeowner's permit, but you still got someone else doing the work. Now you as the homeowner is on the line if shit's done wrong, right?
Facts. And then if you try to take them to court, who gonna look stupid? You.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm.
So like on my projects, I don't allow no homeowner permit. So like them people I met with today, I was like, look, I pull permits on everything. They was like, yeah, we get city inspections and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I pulled a permit for me, not for you, because if you don't pay me and we go to court, I got my proof. All this was done.
Yeah. Hmm. And another thing too, a lot of folks, just folks be like, well, I can't get clear title. I'm gonna just jump to quiet. Quiet title doesn't cure everything. Quiet title isn't a remedy to cure everything. It's some stuff that just cannot be quieted.
Yeah.
Ownership. If you don't have the right deed. Now, if it was a land contract and you have evidence that you did pay and you have all of that, that's one thing. But you coming in talking about, yeah, no, this my deed, and you don't have valid paperwork to back that up. That's not something that you run a quiet on. I've seen some people be able to buy property, and they knew that it was a mortgage on there, and they go and they take their chances with doing a quiet title to quiet that mortgage, and if it's a mortgage company that perhaps have gone out of business or something like that, and they don't answer the complaint and the time has lapsed and you do all your advertising, et cetera, you get a judgment, you may be okay after you wait that additional cool down period. But just beware that when you're talking about you doing that, you may wake a sleeping giant for some of these mortgages because you have to send them notice. And
Mm-hmm.
when you sending them notice, now you opening them up to, oh shit, I got a loan out here that I can still collect on.
Yep.
I'm not
Mhm.
releasing. I'm signing. I'm not gonna. They're gonna look to step out, or they're gonna look to say we'll release our interest based on X amount of money because they do have a valid interest, and their interest comes before your ownership in situations like that. So I get a lot of folks that call me talking about, well, I want to do a quiet. Well, what are you quieting? Who told you that you could do a quiet?
Who
My
told
cousin
you?
Kiki, she told me, she said that's what she did.
Oh, this we back to Keisha.
She went and
Keisha,
did a quiet title on her house.
we back
And
talking about Keisha again.
nope, this
Oh,
Kiki.
oh.
Let me stop. But somebody can be like,
Somebody name
But
gonna be me.
yep.
yeah,
I'm
what
sorry,
I
y'all.
am
These are all fictitious names. These are not real people.
Disclaimer, disclaimer.
right. Wait, we got a question.
And we
She asked,
love all the information that people get. Listen, it definitely keeps us abreast of what is being said out here. So don't take this banter as making fun of people. Because listen, I found out a lot of good information out of all of some of the bad information, and some of it is mixed in being true as well. So yeah, don't take it the wrong way, people, please.
Yeah, no,
Right.
it's all in fun, but we, in order to grasp your attention and get you to understand, we have to put it in the content where you get it. And yeah, am I on my bitch session? I am, but I'm here to help all day long. But some of it is factual though. People got to understand there's only so much that we as title people can do, or we do what we do because we have to protect the integrity of that policy. That's why you hired us. That's why you come to the title company. We can go on and on. Water is helly in the city of Detroit. It can cause so many problems with liens. A lot of people get mad when we're holding high water escrows because the numbers are so tight. But when you're dealing with some of these city properties and you don't have the new meters, or you have tenants in a property, but when you call the water department, the water department says the water been on for 5 years, but you're like, wait, though, I got a lease and I'm prorating rents and security deposits. I mean, they're
Hmm.
using some kind of water. So that means that there's a legal water hookup, there's a legal usage, there's a misread meter. So when we collect on a bill where the meter is only reading at a $300 bill, but we got a tenant that's been in there for 4 or 5 years, but the water department is saying the water's been on for 4 or 5 years, you do the math when it's time to
Absolutely.
go and get a
And
final.
if they get their hands on that meter and check it, they will do an estimated actual bill. They'll take that old meter and they'll say, based upon the usage of the size of the household, how many bathrooms, and they will charge
And they will
charge
go
it to
back.
that bill. Yes.
And they will
Mm-hmm.
go back. And then the
Yeah.
problem lies if we're only holding 300 in escrow because you beat us up so bad about, well, she need her money and he need his money and this gonna kill the deal. Where I'm at now is you only want 300 and I'm trying to tell you that it should be more, but you're gonna sign off on 300, then that's all I have. So when you get the $3,500 water bill, I have 300 on
Hmm.
it. I got 300 on it. It's we don't do what we do because we want to kill the deal. We do what we do because we have to make it make sense and we have to stand behind our policy. Water is considered a lien. And you all know when the money is gone, the money is gone.
It's
When the
gone.
seller get his pennies, when he get his chips, or she get
It's
her
it.
chips, or they get their chips, they gone. They not saying, well, why are you coming back to me asking for more money?
Listen, they don't even know your name no more. It's so funny when you call somebody, who is this?
What
You bought
house is
what
that?
property? Oh,
What?
we have a lot of properties. Which one? Like we just
Now
closed
they all got a lot.
yesterday.
Now they got a lot, but you was in distress and all that when you were calling me about
Right.
selling your house and you wanted to
Who
put out.
who is who's this? I'm sorry. I got a new phone. Who is?
You want to be like, won't you know who this is?
or or my husband handles that part of it. I had nothing to do with it.
Right,
But
right.
but my point is, you looking at us saying, well, we got a water bill for 3,500. Title company, what you gonna do? I only have 300 on it because your agent or whomever you had looking out for your best interest fought me down and beat me up so bad that we all signed off on 300. Or you waived the water escrow. You waived it because everyone at the table told you I didn't know what I was talking about. So you waived it. So I have no money. No money. So understanding the policy is in place to protect you and to cover things like that, but only to a certain extent. Because really on a title policy, and people don't understand it, a title policy covers for acts that were recorded and missed. Water, unfortunately, with the city of Detroit, they don't transfer it over to the tax roll
What
anymore,
is
so
that?
it's
A
not a
house
lien.
phone?
I heard
Yeah,
it
I
too, and
still
she
got it.
reached back to grab it.
The
I was
hell?
gonna talk about it later. House found
We
on
still
the
got a house
wall
phone.
with the long cord, but
I,
and it's
yeah, the
yellow.
cord right
And
here,
it's
but
yellow.
it's a cordless phone.
Is it yellow? So
It's a B Tech.
oh, it's a white boy with the antenna. But
No.
But my point is, people got to understand policies don't even really cover water and things like that if they're not recorded liens. We do hold those things in place, and people are like, well, I'm going to go to an underwriter. Your chances are better dealing with the agent directly because the underwriter going to shoot you down because it wasn't a recorded lien. So, a lot of what we do because we know what the impact could be if it turns into a lien. But we get it big, especially with wholesale deals or investor deals, because those margins are so small, and sometimes you got 3-4 folks on one deal.
Yep.
They're notorious for waiving those waters and doing other things, speaking on behalf of the buyer, and sometimes the end buyer doesn't even know. So be careful
Then
who
when they
you have
come to do it on the
representing you.
retail side and sell it, and we're pulling all this information, like, oh yeah, by the way, it's got a $3,000 water bill. Like, what?
Well, no, call the title company. They did it.
And then when I be like, well, send over your closing package, waive water, exception, all that other. I'm like, listen, there's nothing you can do.
All in the purchase agreement.
All you can do is make a payment arrangement, put that little thing.
Or you want to bump the sales price up?
That's it.
See if it's covered. Well, can you waive some of your commission, Marcus?
Hell no.
Right.
You should have called me about 2 years ago. I'd be like, I'll see what I can do. And I'd be like, hell no, I need to increase it because now there's no issue on my plate.
We can go on and on and on about title insurance and a lot that it does, but I guess the end thing saying that is it is an important key in any real estate transaction, whether it's an investor deal, it's a retail deal, or what have you. Don't sleep on your title insurance. Don't sleep on your title company. We've been around and we're here for a reason.
Yep. So it says, how much money do you have to complete a land bank? To complete a land bank? Pretty much how.
Yeah.
Asia, you want to touch on that? Because I'm about to say it stupid.
I was gonna say if you asking, you shouldn't be doing it, but that's neither here nor there. But I'm gonna say, all right, it depends on how long the house been vacant. It really do. So if it's been 2 years or more and it's not been 2, you're looking at 125, 175 all day. The way stuff costs, I done seen some rehabs 200, 225, 250 for these old Detroit houses, because that's now you doing everything, roof, probably some foundation work, stuff like that. I'm gonna say on the low end, probably maybe 40, 50,000. It just really depends on what all you gotta do.
That's what I was gonna say. A safe number, I feel like, for like maybe a bungalow, 900 square feet, and I always say it's 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 900 square foot bungalow, maybe without a garage, or excluding any garage work, you're about $45,000 to $50,000. That's just for a single family. Now, guys, when you guys get into these multi-families, these 2-family flats off of Dexter Linwood area, 3 bedrooms up, 3 bedrooms down, you in $100,000 is a lot of plaster work square footage. So
you more than that.
Yeah, I mean, you're more than that, but I'm just saying you're in the hundreds of thousands of dollars because these homes, a lot of them have sat for over a decade. These were the last properties to actually get looked at, picked up, because everybody, when the market first started coming up, wanted a single family only, and they wanted 3-bedroom single family houses, either bungalows or colonials or anything.
I didn't know if y'all could hear that. I'm like, he edging and stuff. I'm like, dang, that's loud.
Still outside? I don't want his number. He's been doing this for like 2 hours.
Yeah, he started doing that when we got on.
Yeah.
I was wondering what you had going on in the house, but I was gonna wait and ask you off air.
But no, just put like this: for a land bank house, just make sure that you have clear lines of credit, that your credit is good, and that you got some money to start off with. So just budget for over. I say if just start at least a little budget of at least 30,000. If you're brave enough, start with 20 and just kind of go from there. But just know that it's going to cost you a couple of $1,000, because if you bought it for $1,000, it's going to be a couple of $1,000s to repair. The best thing to do for these land bank houses is to see if you can attend the open house. They do have open houses for these properties. Grab your contractor, pay their fee, show up, and do an extensive walkthrough, because they will allow for the open houses for everybody to walk through and look at them. You can also call the land bank and see if they'll give you the code. Well, probably won't give you the code, but if a representative will come out to meet you to open the property. I've had that done before. Especially for some that are, I've had it done before. They'll come out and meet you and open up the property for you to look in the inside of it.
Yeah,
At
you
the
just got to
time,
schedule it. I've done that a lot too. That you just got to
yeah,
schedule it. You know?
yeah, just have to schedule it. So if you can do that first, then you'll be able to answer that question of how much money you'll need.
But you could also,
Approximately.
like, I don't know if they still do. They was giving you the city inspection report online. Dog, that is so loud. Sorry. They give you the city inspection report, and like I can normally kind of give you a range off of that, but nothing would be like, exact. Dog, I'm already mad about the push.
Well, I'll put
So
it to you like this: whatever that report was, we already know for a fact you need to times that by 3.
that part
That's a fact.
guaranteed.
I haven't seen those reports lately, actually, so they probably ended up taking them down.
Yeah, probably because it's too time consuming with all the properties they got. Like y'all gonna buy.
No, I think they'll probably get a lot of backlash about those numbers.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's probably what it was because them numbers was so off,
yeah, they were very off. I
real
thought we
off.
had another question too.
Let me look. Let me look on the gram. Let me see. Uh oh, you already kind of answered that, Emma, about the land bank being in first position.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see no more. Y'all got any more questions, comments, or concern? One, not a paragraph. I don't see no
Well,
more.
they take that paragraph and break it up. It'll at least be 5.
Right. Oh, that was about when I was talking about them
That's
people.
where they have all of those properties too. That with that attitude, yeah, I know, right?
I think they
Yeah.
found me on YouTube too, so I hope they see this. I really do.
The thing
Well,
about it is, and then speaking of like investors and work like that, ultimately it does not work out well for them. Um, what I've seen, yes, they make some money, but they probably lose just as much. Um,
hmm
and at the end of the day, that's one thing that we're fighting is adequate housing here. Is finding safe, habitable, adequate housing. Um, and then at the end of the day, they can and usually do get blackballed from a lot of the housing agencies if they're not providing the housing that they're supposed to, especially when it comes to their re-examination or annual inspection. So that's one thing. They may get that money for 1 year when they initially move in, but after that, if they're doing that type of work, then I'm quite sure stuff has not been done or tenants tend to move. Because the surprising thing is I've found a lot. I've encountered a lot of Section 8 tenants that's looking to move out of properties like that. Like they call the office almost every day. Like, listen, I need to get out of here because I can't stay here anymore. It's mold, it's mildew, is this, and then you go do a site visit, and I mean, you kind of see that they painted over some stuff that probably should have been taken out in the beginning. So
like painting over some damn hardwood floors. That is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, we're not gonna get into that.
I'm like, why would you paint hardwood floors? Like, people be doing the most. Oh, somebody had one on the ground. Let me see. Let me scroll back down. What is a good area to get a 4 unit? I'm gonna say Dexter Linwood
And I was
Davis.
about to
I
say
was
that's the
just
only
about to
area that
say that.
has.
That's the only thing that's left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's like the only
Yeah.
area that's really left that would have
What
any
about
4 units.
Highland Park?
Highland. I don't see many in Highland Park. I see a lot of the. It may be some over there. It may be.
I know that
Um.
Dexter Linwood for sure. I'm seeing those come through my desk quite often with these investor the rehab loans I was telling you guys about. I got a couple of guys that's like shit. That's their stomping ground right now.
It
And
is
I've been seeing a lot of Highland Park stuff come
okay. Another zip code that.
I've been told you Highland Park was next.
Oh, and
Yeah, no,
I never refuted the fact that it is. It's just that I'm not
you
taking my
called
bougie
us
stuff
on
over there.
your VTech phone and told us. You sure did.
On 3-way.
There's nothing wrong with Highland Park. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I'm again as a realtor, we can specialize in certain areas, and Highland Park is just not one of them for me.
Yeah.
So
But no, that Dexter. But when you talk about that Dexter Linwood area, that goes back to what you guys were talking about earlier, as far as having the funding.
yes, because those houses are massive. Um,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
and
square footage.
they all brick.
All brick.
So you lucky if the brick's still there.
Absolutely.
That's the area where people going to take brick to match their property because you can't find the brick.
Yep. Or if it needs, like right now, I'm dealing with a property that needs a lot of tuck point work. It's almost about $13,000 worth of tuck point work and masonry work that needs to be done. So trying to find a mason to actually do that type of work is actually kind of difficult.
And do it right. The tuck point,
That's what I'm saying. Do it right. Because there's a second floor porch that's brick that needs some scaffolding, tuck point, all that type of stuff. So yeah, just kind of look at it. Another area is 48204, which is a part of Aviation District, Joy Road, Plymouth, Livernois kind of areas. A couple of multi-families over there. Yeah,
really,
that's a hot area too. So off of between 96 Livernois, Joy Road.
What?
Speaking of Joy Road, somebody sent me a house and said it was Boston Edison, and the address was on Joy Road.
But
so
what about?
Go ahead, Emma.
What about that Twyman? Well, it's Grand River, Twyman.
That's 48204.
Beach Daily. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about?
Beach Daily over there.
Not Beach Daily. Grand
Beachdale.
River,
Beachdale.
Maybe that's what it is.
That's what
McGraw.
it is. Yeah.
It's McGraw, Twyman, where all that kind of connection.
That's 48204.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So
that's right.
It's over there like
LaSalle Gardens.
Twyman, down to Livernois, because you can take all over that.
Take all that. Okay.
Yeah, like pretty much it'll be south of 96.
Yeah, so you're still not too far from the Dexter Linwood. It's
right across the freeway. Yeah, across 96. So absolutely.
About LaSalle Gardens, Atkinson. This side is LaSalle, Atkinson, and Boston Edison, North End. So yeah, it's all like kind of right.
Oh, zip code is 48204. It's some multi-families. Actually, it's quite a few multi-families over there that's overlooked, and some apartment buildings. But the thing about it is the area is up and coming. So it's hot because people are rehabbing there, but it's not a lot of resources in that area. A lot of grocery stores closed.
Up and coming again.
Up and coming again.
Yeah, coming back.
What about Grand River going toward downtown, like by where Mitch is shut down at? Grand River Trumbo.
Yep.
That's right outside of Courtown, and then the other side starts Southwest Detroit. So that's a nice key pocket too.
It is.
Yeah.
Cause that's coming into downtown. Like you gotta come down.
I think it's a lot of land over there. I would like to get to build in that.
That's where the tiny houses are at, right? Somewhere.
No, them off Amherst, the
Lodge.
Oh, okay.
Which is the death of curves, dog. You come off that mud spin, you gotta hold on.
Okay.
They doing some construction over there too, cause that ramp closed down. I'm like, maybe they fixing it.
What else we got?
Somebody said, "What's the name of that New York group?" Yeah, I'm not saying that. But if they watching it, they are.
Ferry Street. Yeah.
48202. That's North End.
Yeah, that's North End. That's you talking about a shell is now 150,000 or more over there. 48202.
Now imagine the people who listened to me on YouTube back in 2011, 2012, 2013 when I was like, "Hey y'all, buy the North End, End." North End right now selling 350,000, 400,000 when it's rehab. There's a lot of flex over there.
You was hollering at y'all about the North End, I think, when we all first linked up and started doing our tours a few years ago. It wasn't hot like it is now. You was hollering that shit. And that same voice said, "Hey y'all, about the North End."
Well, I will admit that I was one of those people who like, so I'm not buying this shit over here. What the hell am I doing with this crap?
When I did that first rehab over there back in 2018, it was a inside hand couple moved here from Cali. They had just got married, and I think he was a teacher or something like that.
Inside hand couple.
Inside,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what the old people in my family call Caucasians. But my family from the South, come on. But look, so I did a house back in like 18 for them, and I remember when my crew came over there, they was like, "Asia, do you know where we at?" I'm like, "I know." I grew up over here in Westminster and Oakland. They like, "No, Asia, this the North End." I'm like, "I know. Bear with me, but this is a good rehab for us." And then I just started doing more rehabs over there, and all the houses I rehab was for inside hand people. Nobody was black.
Well,
And
I mean, that's around the time we linked up. That's when that's when we first started talking about doing this. You was hollering that shit. I mean, I didn't hear about the inside hand shit, but that's what, you've been saying it for a minute.
Well, now I'm telling you, y'all need to head over to 48204 on the west side. That's the next place where a lot of other people and people
Side
are.
street. What's that? What's 48204?
We just said that.
She wasn't listening.
Apparently. Sound like one of the clients now.
Say it again.
48204. That's all I'm saying. Google it.
He said a whole like 3-8 paragraph. He wrote a whole thesis statement, and you ain't hear
right. I need a presentation. All I needed was a PowerPoint and a pointer. Like
that's it. He did his whole dissertation, and Emma like, "What's going on?"
Huh? What?
The inside hand people fucked me up. And you said it during the time Asia had that noise going on in her eye.
It's too much, man. My regular grandson, he didn't answer the phone, so I had to call somebody else.
We got any other questions? Did we answer her question?
Yeah. Oh, somebody said. Oh, the same person. They said the rent in Corktown is ridiculous. I went to Pelham, so I remember what Corktown used to look like.
Right.
Yeah, I remember what Corktown used to look like too. Remember, I worked downtown back in 2000.
I remember it used to look like a ghost town.
Yeah.
Right after the Tigers game was over, it was a wrap.
Yeah, it was a wrap.
Listen, once you come from Southwest Detroit and cross under that viaduct where the old train station was, and got over there, you hit the gas to get to the freeway. Like,
yes, you did. Yes, you did. And then don't leave shit don't even leave a piece of paper in your car after coming from while you going to the Tigers game. You come out, your windows busted. I mean, shit. My shit was busted going to the bar. Now all of a sudden you want to have super expensive rents? Whatever.
It's Range Rovers that park on the street down there now.
Right. I remember. I mean, I was downtown. I stomped those parts of the town, 2004 up into 2015.
Yeah, Corktown, just sales in general, you looking at a bare minimum 300 up as far as just for
going up
an abandoned bando.
But see, this is the thing though. It was already going up, and then Ford came with that big ass announcement, shitting on everybody. Yep. We about to buy this whole area. We redoing the train center. I was like, whoa.
I'm super excited. I think I want to move my office over there if they let me.
Go for it.
No, if anything, I probably move it into a box. Let me stop.
Yeah, we're talking about moving our office out of that damn Penobscot finally.
That's what I was. I thought y'all had made that announcement already that y'all was moving out of there.
I mean, it's just been, it's just
Davin don't want to let his office go. No.
Yeah, it's not only that. It's like shit, just really fully bouncing back from COVID and getting into looking and But yeah, we were gonna look at some storefronts, something to keep that downtown presence.
Yeah, I think you should look at some storefronts.
Yeah, I was actually looking believe it or not, I went and looked at a spot off of Meyer, but it was I wasn't really feeling it.
No, that's not it.
I got it, but I want something in the neighborhood, but I really want 6-7 mile. So if y'all find some, anywhere between.
I mean, it's on Livernois, 7 Mile Livernois. They got a whole lot of spaces, storefronts.
But remember when you were looking before, they weren't answering and shit.
Well, not specifically that one, but it's some other ones they just built, some new builds and all of that. Storefronts they just
we don't need a whole lot because I just really wanted for a satellite office and to be able to pop in and do a spin-off close and just to make that presence for those.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here. So I did go look at something. I saw something on Facebook. I rolled by and was like, no, I don't think
I
this
know
will
what
work.
you're talking about. That's why I'm shaking
Yeah,
my hair.
yeah. I don't know real estate like that, but we are looking for something.
He said the parking downtown is a challenge. Absolutely, it is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that always was.
But that's
Always
the way
was.
they want it to be, honest. Just like any other metropolitan downtown area, most people don't park down there. They park farther away and take some type of bike, tram, train,
Well, now
Uber,
you can take
walk.
that, but before we had all that parking, you think parking downtown is a challenge now?
Right before that.
When downtown was fully thriving, shit. I mean, I think when I was working in the Detroit office, we called it the baller lot. I was easy paying $20 a day.
You were, because I parked in that lot too, and I was mad for that one day that I listen. I parked for that one day and go to everywhere I needed to go, right?
Not me.
Yeah,
Y'all know I'm cheap. Y'all know
and
I'm
the
cheap. I
crazy
will park
thing
at
was
go ahead. Oh my back.
the cheap parking was probably about 5 blocks away from where you were trying to go.
Yeah.
And if it was wintertime, you really wasn't trying to do that. And if it was like the auto show
Auto show.
time, if it was game time, man, parking downtown has always been just a
But
challenge
see,
and
you can do
expensive.
like me and just park at Greetown Casino, and then I'm
You got to
people
be
move
careful with that too, but most of the time during the day they want you to. Yeah, it was. I know what you're talking
I got
about,
a card. I
but
got
this
my
was
mom.
every day. Like this, if you're going every day, you're not gonna do that. No.
Yeah, no, it parking has always been a challenge. It just sucks. And we can go on and on about parking downtown. But yeah. If you got a meter down there, shit, when the meters weren't working, remember when the meters weren't working,
Right.
Marcus? It was like heaven. Oh, Lord. Or
I
when
was
the
right up in
meters were
traffic court arguing, like I put my dollar in there.
or when it was $20 parking, when it was
Yeah.
$20 parking and you pay early and you only had to pay 10, I was like, shit, I don't care about a ticket. I
Yeah.
don't care about a ticket.
Right.
That
I
shit
get a
went
ticket
up.
because it was half price if you got it. If you paid it that day, it was half price. If
Right,
it was 20,
right.
it was 10.
But the moment that shit went up to what, $40?
$40. And I think it's 45 now, and it's no discounts.
And they
Yeah,
got working meters.
yeah, because I used to take my chance. Like if I get a ticket, 10 days, $10,
Yep.
whatever.
Right.
Now
Right.
$45. Ooh, let me pay for parking.
Let me pay this $2.50 for this. I mean $2.15 for this 2 hours.
That's
Yep.
why I walked from Fishbones the other day to the permit office. I'm not about to move my car and pay again.
Right.
So I'm just about to walk
So
through.
you can't pull permits online. That's the one thing they didn't change with
Okay,
COVID.
real quick. So that's what I did. I pulled this permit online April 28th, or was trying to. They finally got it to where I could pay for the permit on May 17th. I'm like, y'all gonna let me know what's going on so I can have my inspection. And then I called the lady like, well, we prefer you to put them online. I'm like, so we can't come in now. She's like, yeah, you can come in, but the people who come in jumps ahead of the people who put online. So in other words, I need to come down there.
So
And then
they'll give you the option to pull online, but if you got people that's like, shit, I'm gonna get up and go down there, you just wait. So you may
you
as well
jump
just
in
go down
front.
there.
And my stuff was saying in review for like a month. I'm like, this permit is what's holding up my final payment. Like, I just need my final inspection. So I'm like, can I schedule my permit while I'm here? My inspection. She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Because this is ridiculous. Like,
Wow.
and they approved both of them while I was down there. I'm like, now look at that. She's like, you got time to wait? I'm like, it's only been April 28th. What's an hour?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I'm saying? What's an hour? Or if it's
Wow.
2 hours, I'm about to go back to Fishbones, get me some sushi, and come back. So I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Well, I can say that they did open the register of deeds back up.
Yes, they did.
So what they're doing is they're doing a spinoff. They're doing some staffing in, some staffing online. Online is still moving pretty quick, but
Hold on, y'all. He done.
oh,
Go ahead.
damn. You get an appointment, you can get in, and your shit still get on record before online. Deuces, y'all. Thank you for sharing our time with us. We appreciate you guys as always. See you next month, third Friday. What up, though? Fridays.
What up, though?
Oh, we about to end. Then I can say bye first.
Oh,
I thought that's what you said.
No, I said hold on. I said hold on. I gotta go pay him real quick.
Oh, I thought you said we
I
done.
thought you said we was done. We
Oh, I was saying he was done. My bad.
Oh,
But y'all can go ahead, continue. Be right back.
well, we about to meet our 2 hour threshold anyway, and I got to go home and start packing for Florida.
Yeah, I do too. I need to go home and wash. I gotta come in the office tomorrow, shuffle some papers,
Yeah, me
move some
too.
stuff around, and I gotta do some stuff here before I go home and finish up. Yeah.
Yep. So
We
anyway,
did
you
get
guys definitely watch us. We will be in Orlando. We don't have a scheduled itinerary as far as when it comes to any things, but you know we will pop up in your timeline doing something. We
Right.
never stop working. We always working, doing something. So you might see us eating breakfast while we doing some work, or we might sit there and brainstorm like we always do. You should see us at the table. It's like 3 little human workers just tipping away at the, and then we'd be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we should tell people about this. So we'll jump
Yeah.
online and do it. So just watch out for it.
It's been a
Yeah, we
minute
gonna
too
do
since
it.
we all been together. So I'm
It has.
excited.
Always think about Philly when we went to Philly and didn't leave the Airbnb. We just sit
Oh,
all sitting there working.
yeah, y'all
I
got
don't
to
even
talk
know what
about
Philly
that.
look like on the outside.
San
I think
Diego
I got
with us.
points too. I think I got points. I did something, so we'll talk about that.
All right,
San
because you know
Diego.
Flyer
we
points.
book, baby.
Yeah, I was the first one. I used my points from San Diego.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure all that out, but I'm definitely going. So.
I can't wait to get into their Delta Sky Club so I can drink and have a good time.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
I'm all about that.
yes. You know me, I'm gonna have my ginger ale on the rocks with 2 cherries.
I'm going in. All right, you guys, it's been real. I'm tired. I've been up.
Yeah.
I'm drained.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna drink my little sleepy tea so I can go to sleep.
Oh, that
All right.
sounds good. I'm gonna go get me some of that too. That's good. All right.
Well, I had my tea.
All right,
So,
ladies. I will see you guys later. I'll see you on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever you come in.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
all
Y'all send me y'all stuff so I can, be tracking y'all.
oh, okay.
All right. So I guess we'll see everybody in Florida. We will also try to do it. Last thing, don't forget about our August. It was in August, right? For the
Yeah, the
tour.
tour, August 12th through the 15th. I'll put the
Listen,
link
let
in the
me tell y'all
comments.
something. If you want to have a good time and learn about Detroit, don't miss this. Don't miss this tour. Now, this ain't getting canceled for nothing. If it's just me and Asia in the car recording ourselves having a good time, we just
Oh, that boat paid for, so we're gonna be on that boat.
listen. Let me tell you
Like, I
something.
know that's when I show up. I'll be like, oh, I'm busy for everything. Wait, I'm on the boat. So I'm there.
You show up, Emma.
I'll be there for the boat.
You
All
be
right,
on the
for
boat
real this time. I'm out. I'm about to get out of here.
too, y'all.
All right, y'all.
Okay.
I'm gonna call you
Bye.
on the V phone.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.